beautiful Orange, Texas. For the 5th time, the Elite Series visits Orange, Texas. This is stop 6 of 2023, the Folds of Honor Bassmaster Elite at the Sabine River. A very, very special location, and this, as I always say, is my second favorite day of the week, semifinal Saturday. But why is this location so special? Well, this is the home of the all-time record crowd for a Bassmaster Elite Series event. Last time we were here, 40,107 Bassmaster fans flooded the fields here to watch the competition, and always a tight tournament, Davey Height, but how is Brock Mosley feeling right now? I mean, to be a 5-time bridesmaid, he finished second the last time we were here. He's been so close. Does the pressure start on Saturday, or will he be calm for the most of the day?
Well, if you were out on the water like I was lucky enough to be this morning, not very close to Brock Mosley, but you could hear him scream from the very, very bottom of his lungs. You could tell he feels like that fish could win him his first blue trophy. Everybody keeps up with the Bassmaster Tournament Trail knows that Brock Mosley has finished second 5 times. One of the times, the last time we were here, he finished second. So happy to see him catch that big fish this morning.
A tight tournament, and amazing the way we've seen anglers, yesterday. Caleb Sumrall from 69th all the way up into contention. Maddie Wong from 55th up to our top 4, and now currently in 3rd place, because that's a look at our current unofficial leaderboard. Remember, all the weights are not official until the fish hit the scales back here this afternoon. But if you look at it right there, Brock Mosley with what is the biggest lead we've seen here all week.
Yeah, that's something that we didn't think we would see here. The fish are not as big here as they are some of the places that we go, but every single tournament, I've talked about it all week long, we've talked about it. It's so, so important, especially here, to have a chance to catch a big fish like Brock Mosley did this morning.
Well, let's catch all the fine Bassmaster viewers up with our Toyota Midday Report. And why not start with our brand new leader in Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year points, Stone Cold Kyle Welcher.
Kyle Welcher having a good tournament. He's having a good year. He would not be leading Bassmaster Angler of the Year. One of those anglers that came real close to winning a Bassmaster Classic just a couple years ago, having a great year this year. Was able to talk to one of his marshals from earlier in the week. I think it was the first day. He said he was the most incredible angler he'd ever been in a boat with, how many casts he made, how precise he was, and just how important each and every second was to him. Not a lot of conversation while he's out on the water, so focused, and that's why he's having such a good year. Even in a place like the Sabine River, where the fish seem to be a little smaller, he knows to have a chance to win Angler of the Year, you've got to have good tournaments at basically every single event.
From our current Angler of the Year leader to a guy who's a 4-time Angler of the Year, Clark Wendlandt.
Yeah, Clark Wendlandt is an angler that we all know has had such a great career. 4 Angler years, just a couple years ago, Bassmaster Elite Series Angler of the Year. Clark Wendlandt having a little slower tournament the last few tournaments or two, but definitely making up a lot of ground here. He's one of those people that we expect to see in the Bassmaster Classic every year, having a great tournament here. I got to talk to Clark a little bit before this tournament and can tell he felt really good about it. One of those anglers that's been around long enough to understand, hey, every tournament is equally as important. I've got to focus, try to catch 10 to 12 pounds a day, and I'll be in contention on Championship Sunday.
Always great to see Clark Wendlandt in the mix. A 5-time Classic qualifier, but 18-time FLW Tour Championship qualifier, and a guy that has been in our top 10 already earlier this year and keeps knocking at that door and getting close, Hunter Shryock.
Yeah, Hunter Shryock had a great first day at 13 pounds, was in second place. Fell off a little yesterday, a little bit slower day for him today, but this morning, he, Brock Mosley, Maddie Wong, they were in the happening place on the Sabine River. All 3 of those anglers catching them, and you can see Hunter catching fish after fish here this morning, getting off to a great start. Wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't move right on up the leaderboard a little farther before he has to come in to the weigh-in scales. Another angler that everyone will be excited to see him hold a blue trophy over his head, and he's definitely going to have a chance to do that tomorrow, Championship Sunday.
Hunter Shryock having a great season, and him and his wife expecting a brand new baby. You know what? It was a glorious takeoff this morning, and on glorious mornings, I want to wish you much mahalo from Hawaii, Bass Nation National Champion Maddie Wong.
Maddie Wong, one of those anglers in that same area this morning where it was going down, I guess I should say. catching a lot of his fish early and often. It was great. We started on FS1 this morning early, and these guys and the fish were ready to show up. Maddie Wong getting a good solid limit, moving up to third place unofficially. Catching him on a variety baits, a crankbait, a lot of his fish, a chartreuse blueback crankbait. Not far from Brock Mosley. You can see in the background right there in that shot, that's Brock Mosley right down the bank from him. Having a great morning, and you know, he loves the camera. I heard him say this morning, if you want to get to know me better, go to MaddieWong.com. That just made me laugh out loud, I have to admit.
Yes, he has a wide variety of acting talents, but here's a guy who may have more Facebook posts and comments in the last month than anybody, but everybody wants to see this, a view of Keith Poche with the camera in his boat today.
Yeah, Keith Poche is, as you can see here, fishes out of a different looking boat than most of these anglers, which is really neat and attracts a lot of his fans that have boats similar to that, a smaller aluminum boat, but it gives him the opportunity to get back in some areas, especially in a fishery like this where you have a lot of backwaters, a lot of little creeks and bayous and canals, and he's able to access some places with this smaller boat that a lot of people can't. A lot of people picked him to be a winner here, and they made good picks because currently he's in second place unofficially, has been very consistent.
Speaking of consistent, twice he's made the championship round here. Brock Mosley, is it finally his time?
Well, it really wasn't surprising to see Brock this morning catching a limit early, because he's done that every day. He's the only angler we've had on camera that just really has been able to catch him every single day from takeoff. But this is a game changer fish right here for him. You can see here at the Sabine River, that looks like he put it in as a 410. It's every bit as big as that. I think it might even be a 5-pounder, which everyone knows if you fish the Sabine River, a 5-pounder is gold. And he was the leader going out this morning, and you catch a golden fish like that, be hard to beat him tomorrow. But we do see some anglers making up some ground. This morning he had a solid 8.5, 9-pound lead, but they are making up a lot of ground on him. Several anglers within 5 pounds of him now, so he'll have to catch him tomorrow. But a great start for Brock Mosley, one of those anglers you can't help but pull for, having finished second 5 times.
He's been close so many times in the past, but this is a look at our playing field and an idea of how our anglers are spread out. We started this tournament with 103 Elite Series competitors, cut it down to 50 today, and tomorrow only the top 10 move on to Championship Sunday.
It's really amazing when you look at the lay of the lake right there. We have anglers close to take off, and then so many of our anglers are 40-plus miles away, other than the 3 or 4 that are right here within 2 or 3 miles of takeoff.
Let's head out to a 4-time Bassmaster winner from North Prince George, Virginia, Jacob Poroznik.
Uh-oh.
Nice fish right there.
Dude, did you see I almost did not set the hook? I didn't know if it was a fish. What is wrong with him? I don't know.
Skinny.
Don't see
Almost
many
did not
skinny
set
fish
the
here.
hook.
That's definitely a postponed fish. He mentioned he almost didn't know it was a fish. I was watching him, I'm sure you were too, and you could tell he just hesitated there. A lot of times these fish, especially here, and we saw it with Poroznik yesterday, when they bite your bait, they go really, really fast offshore, but that fish did not move.
Poroznik is smiling, giggling, having a good time. And speaking of a good time, your tournament leader, Brock Mosley. He's got a lot of family here, and man, I feel bad for them. They got to be sitting on pins and needles. I mean, I've had that awkward hooked up live.
I think he'll help. He's long. As I'm sitting there thinking about leaving, I catch something that might help. Fish is long.
Fish only have to be 12 inches to be a legal keeper in this event, but because he's cold, he doesn't have any.
They're right there together.
They're that short. He's got Fish
Put
that
him
are
on the
13,
seesaw
14
just to-
inches long. It'll go along with the 5-pounder.
He's big, he just ain't real healthy.
I was saying, you know, you feel for his family because I mean, I've had that kind of awkward conversation leaving the stage, like his time's going to come. But I mean, as much nerves as he may have going in Championship Sunday and competing tomorrow, he's competing. They got to sit on pins and needles and watch this.
Oh my God.
And all these anglers know that too. They're thinking about their families when they're out there fishing, whether they're having a good tournament or a bad one.
I don't know if she'll help. She might. Still eating reaction baits. All right. I don't think so. I got 2
Sure.
pound-and-a-halfers, so I'm trying to get rid of a pound-and-a-halfer, but I think this is also going to be like a pound and a third or something. Yeah, pound and a third.
Every ounce so important.
So no good?
No good. Rats. Rats. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would kill for that fish right now too.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, yes. Into Camara, hooked up.
Number 5.
boy.
Yes, sir. Pound. Yep. Happens pretty quick. Nah, pound and a half. It's all pound and a half. I'll take it.
Kenta having a slower day yesterday than day one. Caught a lot of fish, but did not have the quality that he had on day one. That's good, solid fish there for him, and his 5th keeper.
Davey Height, do not let the Sandman lull you into a sense of weakness. He'll sneak up and get you, and here's another guy who'll get you, Clark Wendlandt.
Yes. Yes.
Good,
In the
solid
pipe.
fish for Clark.
He was inside the pipe. That's awesome. Inside
Good,
the pipe.
solid fish.
I mean, that's the kind you need up there. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Don't count Clark out. He's moved up to 4th place unofficially. Solid fish there. One of the anglers is fishing over in the Taylor's area. Hildebrandt, Taylor's 5.
God, that's freaking awesome. On the jig.
All these anglers know
Fishing
those
a
fish
Strike
that
King
are
compact
2+
jig
pounds.
with a baby Rage Craw trailer, black and blue. I've also thrown some green pumpkin a little bit, but black and blue seems better. So, but that's a new jig, and it catches them, especially in this situation.
Good shot of Clark's jig.
Important to hydrate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
4 box right now. Your tournament leader, Brock Mosley. Your progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year leader, Kyle Welcher. The always positive and always inspirational Maddie Wong. And a former motocross racer, Hunter Shryock. It's quite a group.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's
Three of those
getting hot.
4 anglers are within about a quarter
Still
mile of
catching
one another.
fish. I just hadn't caught anything that helped in a while. I still may make a run over to Taylor's, but I mean, I'm getting bit. And, I mean, you just think if you go through enough of them, eventually you'll run into a 2+ pounder or so, something that'll really help. But I don't know, man. There's, when I was in here yesterday morning, I had it to myself, never even seen another boat in here, and which Maddie come in here yesterday afternoon after he run all his other stuff and caught his weight. So we found it like that. But there's been a lot of boats in and out on the other side, but we're still getting bit. But the main thing is, if I can grind it out, it's not catch another, make another couple of key coals in here. I'd rather do it because it's not like it's going to get a break. I mean, that's the thing. That's the reason I'm still here, None of this is going to get a break. Not that I'm fishing anything secret in Taylor's, but it's very heavily pressured over there too. I think I'm maybe doing something a little different or targeting something a little different. But as long as the fish are biting, it'll be all right. I think we could still make a couple key coals, but if they ever stop biting and I feel like we drained it pretty good, then I'll make a run. Those fish over there bite better. I haven't got over there any day before 11:15 anyway. I think them fish bite better after lunch.
How long does that run?
About 40 minutes. Yesterday I didn't leave here at about, this time, maybe a little later after I had boat issues, and then I was kind of concerned on gas, so I ran, 60 miles an hour the whole way over there, or 59 to 60 rather than 70, trying to save on fuel. So I don't know if that was a fish or not. But we're off to a good start. If I can get 2 more really solid fish, man, I'd like to put it, if somebody's allowed to catch 15 pounds today. But if the weights are like they were yesterday, then, I'd like to see if I can distance myself from everybody else. Now, there's some guys that are probably going to catch them. I mean, one big one can change everybody's day, so. But if I can get a couple more coals and move into, get a really good sack, that'd be awesome. Awesome. But, I mean, we're catching a bunch of fish. And these aren't like retreads. I haven't caught anything yet.
You can tell Brock Mosley has been close before, and that's what it's going to take to seal this deal. Even currently, and he doesn't know this, but with almost right around a 5.5 pound lead, he's got to keep his foot on the pedal because he doesn't want to give anybody a chance.
Yeah, after finishing second 5 times, he certainly is going to keep the foot on the pedal, trying to decide now whether he's going to make a 45 mile run over to his area that he's been able to go to each afternoon and upgrade some, but it's hard to leave fish while they're biting, and he's caught some quality fish there this morning.
It's been close before. Is this the time? Does Brock Mosley get it done? Well, it's too early to predict that. He's your tournament leader right now. We have 50 anglers competing today, and a few short hours will cut it down to our top 10 and moving into Championship Sunday.
Honoring past achievements as we step into the future. Make the best better. That's what we do. Radically redefined, the NRX Plus is the culmination of our obsessive drive to forge the most advanced fishing tools on the planet.